Oh, bleeding critic. You've been wanting to hear my scary story. So here's a little horror therapy for you. It was the 80s. It was a time of big hair and Ghostbusters. And so a few friends of mine and I decided that since the house I lived in was supposedly haunted, we would go to the scary closet where the guy supposedly sealed his wife into the wall after he murdered her and break out the Ouija board and see what we could find out. Bad idea. So here's how it went. We went into the closet. We sat down. We started trying to do the whole Ouija thing. And it just ended up with everybody fighting about, you're pushing it, you moved it, it moved, no, you moved it. Yeah, well, at one point, everybody screamed and ran out and left me sitting there. They said that this weird blue glow had happened in my eyes in the dark in the closet, and I thought, what a bunch of crap, right? I wasn't afraid. I just packed up the Ouija board, stuck it behind this old TV in my room, and went about my business. Well, later on that night, whenever I was trying to go to bed, the stereo system in my room came on by itself. And I was kind of freaked out by that, but I turned it off, went back to bed, thought nothing of it. As I started to go to sleep, I heard something in the closet. It sounded like the door handle was kind of, clicking, like if it was being slowly turned from the inside. That kind of creeped me out because I was there alone. My parents were out of town, and a friend of theirs was staying over, sleeping on the couch. She's supposed to be keeping an eye on me because I was a young kid. And anyway, I got pretty scared, I grabbed the covers from around me, kind of tucked them in underneath me, afraid that some hand was going to reach up from underneath the bed and grab me. But instead, a loud thump came onto the closet door from the inside, and I was freaking scared. I got up, I jumped across the room, flicked the light on, didn't want to open the door, so I took a chair and put it against the door to the closet. I went back to bed, turned the stereo on so that there'd be a little bit of light coming off the stereo and a little bit of sound so I couldn't hear the clicking sounds that I thought were coming from the closet door. And the next thing you know, I'm dozing off when I hear the clicking again. Clicking and clicking. Clicking a little faster and a little faster, and then a thump. I was scared at that point. I didn't know, what to expect or what to do. And I looked to my left behind the TV where I had put the Ouija board, and there was this eerie kind of gold-colored glow coming out. And in the light of the glow, I look across to see the closet door slowly pushing open. Ooh, I got chills just thinking about it right now. The closet door was slowly pushing open, and it was like wrinkling the rug that the chair was sitting on, pushing the chair and the rug back as the door slowly opened. And I was mortified. I was against the headboard, scooted all the way back to the back. It sounded like someone was turning the knob on the stereo. Remember the old-timey stereos from the 80s? And I gotta say, I was freaked out. And all of a sudden, it sounded like something rushed out of the closet and started to bump into things in the room, and there were sounds happening. And a loud slap on the wall next to me, and the next thing you know, something was touching me, and I was freaked out. And I fought with it, and it wrestled to the floor, and I screamed, and I ran out and ran into the living room where my parents' friend was, and I jumped onto the couch, and I was like, there's something in the room, there's something in my bedroom. And of course he's like, there's nothing in your bedroom, you're probably just having a bad dream, And we turned and looked toward the hallway where my bedroom was, and you could see like these three dark colored figures, and they moved across the hallway into my bedroom door, and the door shut. let me tell you what, I was freaked out, or what do they call it on Facebook? I was freaked AF, right? So, I mean, at this point, it's me and an adult, and the adult is just as scared as I am, not knowing what the hell to do and what was going on. And at that point, there started to be a knocking sound on the wall, like the sound of a flat open hand, like hitting the wall. But it was like way up high, and it said my name. That scared me and the adult who was watching me so bad. We went outside and slept in the car. When my parents came back from out of town the next day, we still hadn't gone into the house. We were that scared. And my parents said, y'all are nuts. Ghosts don't exist. Nothing like that's real, right? So they went about their business, went to work, did their thing, and later that night I was there. My parents' friend was still there, and I had been cutting up some stuff on the kitchen table with these big scissors, for a school project that I had, and we started talking about it, and we started to say the names of what had been said to us on the Ouija board, and as soon as we did, the big scissors started to tremble in the center of the table and slowly began to turn and turned right toward me. And I freaked out and I screamed, and whenever I screamed, the scissors shot across the table and hit the wall next to me. I probably didn't hit the ground until I was about, 10 or 15 feet outside the back door of the house, running down the street. I was scared. My parents' friend was right with me. There was no cell phones or anything. It's not like I would call my parents and say, hey, someone's in the house, oh my God. And from down the street, we saw my parents' car coming. And so we started running back to the house because we were going to stop them. We're thinking like Amityville and all this stuff. We're scared to death. And as we pulled up, or as my parents were pulling up, we were getting to the front of the house. And there in the window, there was the shadow of a man standing inside the house. And he reached up and pulled the blinds down in the front window. I freaked out. My parents, I swear to God, they must have thought I was nuts. I tried to stop them from going in the house. They went in the house. We had plenty of extra things that happened after this there. But this scared me so bad. And I refused to stay at the house anymore. And my parents eventually, the house next door to us came available for sale, and it was a little bit bigger. So my parents switched over and moved to the house next door, which was even creepier. But you're going to have to wait for another horror therapy session for me to tell you about that story. But yeah, I really wanted to tell you guys about this one, and I won't say the name of the spirit. I still to this day won't. I'm afraid that if I do, he'll find me again. And I wouldn't want him to find you. I hope you enjoyed my story, and I'll see you soon.